Thanks for dropping in. It's finally done. The 3D printed Super Mario Bros. Inspired brick block puzzle box. The initial design for this puzzle started 4 years ago, not long after I purchased my first 3D printer. Unfortunately, I didn't have the basic 3D printing skills or design experience necessary to pull it off. The puzzle I created was rough, a huge pain to assemble, and far too prone to jams. I printed a couple somewhat functional models for friends, but I never posted the design. Well, I've gotten a few projects under my belt since then, and while I'm still learning, I felt it was time to give this project another go. For this redesign, I decided to keep the actual puzzle solution the same as the original. As a result of being one of my earlier puzzles, it's not super difficult. I'd say it's about as difficult or maybe slightly easier than the treasure chest puzzle box. Still, it's a fun challenge, and will take some work to figure out. Here is where I give the standard warning. We're about to get into the solution for this puzzle. If you intend to solve it on your own, don't go any further. Instead, direct your 3D printing friends to this video so they can print and assemble a copy for you to solve. Okay, that's probably sufficient warning. Let's get to solving. The very first step is figuring out which side is the top and which side is the bottom of the puzzle. The lid on this puzzle has all of its bricks glued in place, so they're not going to wiggle at all. So if I test this side here and try pushing these bricks around, they aren't moving, so I know this is the lid. I can confirm that by pulling on it ever so gently. You can see it wants to separate right on that seam. I wouldn't pull too hard, this is just a 3D printed puzzle after all, but that's enough just to see which side is which. So this is the bottom side. Let's see if we can find those loose bricks. It's not here. This one's got wiggle to it. This one does too, but not that one. So we're talking about these two bricks. This brick wiggled but didn't go anywhere. This one was ready to move right away. So when I pull it, it slides out in a 45-degree angle from the core. Now, and only now, will this brick slide out as well. The next step is the most counterintuitive one and is basically the heart of the puzzle. In order to move forward, you've got to move backward. This will only advance if you slide the original brick back into its original place. Now the second brick will pull out even further. I've mentioned before that my entire Twist Lock box series were inspired by this design. That's because this next step is to twist the block. This releases two bricks on either side and allows the lid to come right off. You can see on the inside, this is the exact same mechanism as the Twist Lock boxes. I just have it covered to keep the prize inside the box from possibly jamming up the mechanism. That's because, unlike the Twist Lock boxes, the mechanism is on the floor, not the ceiling of the box. So let's drop a reward into the lid, plop the box on top, twist to lock it, and now we just solve the puzzle in reverse. Slide this in, other brick out, this brick in, that brick in, and the lid is securely tightened once more. Once you know the trick, opening and closing the box is really quick. The final version of this puzzle is far easier to print and assemble than the original design, but it's still quite a few pieces, and assembly isn't entirely obvious. So next week, I'll be releasing a step-by-step video, including some printing tips that will make a successful print far more likely. If you'd like to give it a try before then, the files have been posted for free online. Check the video description for those links. While I'm on the topic of downloading files, it was recently revealed that Thingiverse, probably the most used site for downloading 3D printed designs, was hit with a pretty big data breach back in 2020. If you have a Thingiverse account, it would be best to change your password right away. Even if you haven't received any contact from Thingiverse stating that your account was among those affected. Last but not least, I wanted to thank everyone who subscribed to the channel. It's been up for less than a year now, and we just recently passed 2,000 subs. I don't bring it up often, but I really do appreciate that you're joining me as I share this hobby. So, Until next week, happy printing and thanks for stopping by.
Three, two, one. System shut down.